The objective of this lesson is to convert between percents and decimals. First, we're going to convert from percents to decimals. Here we have 98%. As you know, a percent is always a ratio out of 100. So what 98% really means is 98 out of 100. So I can write 98% as the fraction 98 over 100. You also know that 98 over 100 is the same thing as 98 divided by 100, or 98 hundredths. So, if I want to, I can divide 98 by 100 to rewrite this as a decimal. Here, I already have the division done. I divided 98 by 100, and I got the decimal 0.98, or 0 and 98 hundredths. Some of you might be thinking that you don't need to do all of this work to divide 98 by 100. There is a trick. So, if I take my number, 98%, if I take the 98, I know that the decimal point is at the end of the number, right next to my ones place. So, if I want to divide this by 100, instead of actually dividing, I can just move my decimal 2 places to the left. So I'm going to take my decimal and slide it 1, 2, and now my decimal point is right before the 9. So 98 divided by 100 is equal to 0.98. Therefore, 98% is equivalent to the decimal 98 hundredths. Now we're going to convert decimals to percents. There are a few ways to look at this, but I'm going to think of it right now as the opposite of converting a percent to a decimal. Well, when we just converted percents to a decimal, we divided by 100. So now, if we're going back from a decimal to a percent, we need to do the opposite, which would be multiply by 100. So if we have the decimal 0 and 35 hundredths, and we want to convert it back to a percent, we need to multiply it by 100. Well, there's another trick for multiplying by 100. When we divided by 100, it was the same as moving the decimal 2 places to the left. Now, when we multiply by 100, that's the opposite, so we're actually going to move the decimal 2 places to the right. 1, 2, and your decimal comes right after the 5. So now we have 35 as our answer. So 0 and 35 hundredths is equal to 35%. Now I'm going to teach you a trick to remember how to convert between decimals and percents. That trick is remembering the word dupe. So, to use dupe, D represents decimals and P represents percents. So let's start with converting 14% to a decimal. Since I'm given a percent, I'm going to start at the P. So, to go from a percent, P, to the decimal, which is over here, I have to move 1, 2 spaces to the left. So I take my number 14, my decimal is here, and I move it 2 places to the left, and I get my answer, which is 0 and 14 hundredths. Now, if I want to convert this decimal, 4 tenths, to a percent, I start here at the D, and I move 2 places to the right. So I take my number, 0 and 4 tenths, and I move my decimal 2 places to the right. 1, 2. Put your placeholder, and I get the answer of 40%.